Okay, let's learn Torah. Tanya. We're going to start 10 lines down. Chav Ches Amud Aleph. Tanya. Rabbi Omer. Ezel he derech yishara. So shikol agata. Let's just make sure we get the words right, or else the chazar will be impossible. What is the straight road shiavar lo adam that a person should choose? Yehav esatei chachis. You should love rebuke. Shekol's man for as long as shatei chachis ba'olam, there's rebuke in the world. Nachas ruach ba'olam. There's goodness in the world. Taiva, goodness, ubracha and blessing, but in la'ilam come to the world. And not only is it good, which is a shikl chiddush, you would think if it's good, there's automatically no bad, right? Says the Gemara, no. Number one, it's going to be good. And number two, v'ra mistalekes min ha'ilam, evil will remove from the world. Shenemar, as the pasuk says, and to those who rebuke in ginnaim, it will be pleasant. Va'alihem, and upon them, tava it shall come, a birchas toiv, the bracha of goodness. That's the first shot. So what's the good path to choose? Love, rebuke. Love, rebuke. Shtickle, I've used that guy as a little masochist. Rebbe, tell me what I did wrong. Like, no, it's okay. No, I want to know. Usually they don't want to know, but let's get one to know. Yeah, usually these guys, usually.
Tells the friend to write down everything.
Yeah. No, I can handle it. Yeah, I didn't mean that. V'yesh oimrim a second shots. Yachazik b'emuna yisera. Grab hold of emuna yisera, great emuna or great integrity. Some explain it to mean. Shenemar inai, my eyes, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, b'nemnei eretz, those who faithful on the land, l'sheves imadi, they dwell with me. Amar Rav Shimon Nachmani Amar Rabbi Yonasan. Continuing the same theme. Kol mechiches chaveiro l'shem shamayim, very important, and this is extremely difficult. So let's be honest. You mechich your friend, you give him teichacha. Let's be honest, it feels good. No, if you do it l'shem shamayim, then zeicha you merit l'chalka shel Kadosh Baruch Hu, to be in the chelek, in the portion of Hashem. Shenemar mechiach adam, those who give rebuke acharai, says Hashem will be after me. And not only that, and this is the cherry on top, they're going to have a strand of kindness, favor, which is important because you would think, okay, you give teichacha, you're going to get blessing, but you think, is part of that blessing that people are going to like you? You would think that's the one thing you're not going to have. Everyone's going to hate you, but you'll get brachas. The Gemara says, no, you're also going to have a chut shel chesed. People are going to find favor in you. And I guess the answer is, if it's really l'shem shemayim, then, let's be honest, not always is it really l'shem shemayim. Yeah, that's the problem. But okay, we got to work on it. And that's if people don't like him. Exactly. You find the door closed. Your idea, someone's inside the toilet. Then the Mishnah concluded, Mishu if you want to do Trumas Hadesh, so let's remember, the Mishnah said you want to do Trumas Hadesh and you get up early, you go to the mik. And then the guy comes and he says, the Mamoina comes, he knocks, comes in, okay, who woke up early? Let's do a lottery. Says the Gemara, Hagufa Kasha. This is a stira, this is a kasha onto itself. Amrit, first you said, Misha who writes to the one who wants Litra Mesamizbeach to separate the ashes. Mashkin gets up early, V'toivel, and goes to the mikvah. Ad Shaloi Avayam Moina, before the Moina comes. So what does that sound like? That's a quote from the Mishnah. Alma, it seems, Lav Bipayis Talia Milsa. There's nothing to do with the pious. There's nothing to do with the lottery. But then V'hadar Tani, but then the Mishnah says, Yavai, let him come via Fais and be part of the lottery. Alma, what does that show us? Bipayis Talia Milsa. So is he a pious or is it not a pious? Which one is it? Amar Abaye. Loi kasha kan koidem takana kan la'acher takana. One is before the takana, one is after the takana. What takana? The Tinan we learned in a Mishnah. Barishain in the beginning, originally. Call me sharaitza litrumas mizbeach. Anyone who wants to do the Trumas Hadesh, anyone who wants to separate the ash, Tayrim. Anyone who wants to do it. And what happens? Bisman Shem Merubin, there's more than one person that wants to do it. Rutzin, they would run, Va'ilin bekevesh, and they go up the ramp. Kol HaKodim is Chaveru, whoever came before his friend, B'teich Arba Amos, with him 4 Amos, Zaycha. He wins. So whoever wins to the top of the Mizbeach, you get to do the Trumas Hadesh. What happens? Are you shnayim shavin? There's two people that are equal. Then Hamamayna Amar Lam, the Mamayna says, Hitzbiu, let's perform a lottery. And how do they perform the lottery? Hitzbiu literally means stick out a etzba, stick out a finger. Umahi moitziim, and what would they stick out? Achas, one finger, oishtayim, or two fingers. What would they do? They would stand in a circle. Everyone would put out a finger. The Memaina would come, take off one of their hats, call out a number, and then he would count around from that person. So you have no way of knowing what's the number he's going to call. You can call it 72, and there's 20 kayanim. You put out one, you put out two, and you see if he lands on you. But ve'ein moitziin, we never explained this well. Ve'ein moitziin goydel b'mikdash. You don't stick out your thumb. Why not? No, why not? Why stick out your thumb?
Looks like pizza.
No, close. No, actually not close. Just being nice. Just being nice. I'll tell you why. Because let's say you do this, and then you see him coming to you, and you do the quick math. Oh, it's gonna. I want to get one less. So you can just quickly snuck it in, or one more. You're gonna quickly stick it out, and no one's able to notice. So we don't allow you to stick out your thumb because we don't want you to play games. So it's either one or two. Maisa. Yeah, Avada. Also, there were good schoolers, Avada. Everything needs a schooler. Maisa, there was a story. Bishnayim sheyeshavim, two people were equal. Ratzin, they were running. It was a race to the top. Violin, they were going up a kevish on the ramp. And what happens? In good Jewish fashion, what do? You pushed his friend. Vinishbara raglin, he broke his leg. Bezdin saw this is too much. When Bezdin saw Sheibarnli de Sakana, Hitkinu, they made a takana. Shaloyi Tarminas Mizbeach, we're not gonna do the Chumas Hadeshin, Ella Bipayis, only with a lottery. So we have two parts of the Mishnah. So what's the teretz? One is before the takana, and one is after the takana. Beautiful. What was the takana? When they were nervous that people were pushing each other, they made a takana to do a lottery. That's the first teretz. Abayi. Rava Amar, perhaps a little bit of an easier teretz. I think Rava is the way that you would learn the Mishnah Pashim Shat. Says Rava, Aidi va'aidi lachar takana. No, the whole Mishnah is lachar takana. The first part of the Mishnah sounded like whoever wants could do it. The second part of the Mishnah sounded like it's a lottery. Oh, just read it all as one statement. And this is how you learn the Mishnah. Mishu writes that whoever wants, Lavoi, let him come, Ulefayis, and do a lottery. Then Mashkim, he gets up early, V'toivel, and goes to the mikvah. Ad shlayavay hamamayna, that's all one case. So two ways of explaining the Mishnah. Mayerdik. Zogt, the Mishnah. Yeah, this is new. We all ready? Where is everyone? I don't know, but stinks for them. Notal esamavteach. He takes the key. So just to orient yourselves, very important. This entire Masechta, I know it's only 8 blot, but it's one day in the Beis HaMikdash. This is the only way that we're actually going to remember the whole thing. And it started, we so far had one Mishnah, and the first Mishnah taught us what? About the Shmira, which is before the day starts. Starts at the night before, started with the Shmira, then it went to teach us how they went to sleep, taught us what happens if they were tummy in the middle of the night, and then what was the last detail? The first thing of the day, the Chumas Hadeshin. So we're up to that precise juncture, the Chumas Hadeshin, the separation of the ash. So now, he takes the key. One of the Kohanim takes the key early in the morning, upasach, and he opens up as a pishpish. Pishpish is a small door. V'nichnas. Now, by the way, where are we standing right now? We're in the Beis HaMoikid. That room that everyone went to sleep, that's where we are, all the Kohanim. So we're in the Beis HaMoikid, and now it's time to get the day started. So you find the key, interesting where the key was. It was under the ground, the whole interesting matzah, maybe we'll get to. They take the key, and he goes and he opens the pishpesh, the small door. Where does this pishpesh, where does this small door lead to? The small door leads to v'nichnas, and they enter mi Beis HaMoiked, from the Beis HaMoiked le'azara, to the Azara. Okay, they open up the door, they enter into the Azara. V'nichnasu ha'kohanim acharov. and all the Kehanim go after him. Oh, so this is interesting. And Ushtei Avukay Shel Ar Biyadam. And they're holding torches of fire. So, no.
This is everyone, right?
This is all Kohanim. We don't exactly know when, but seemsly early in the morning because they're having torches, so it's before daybreak. They open a small door, and all the Kohanim are going from the Beis HaMikdash into the Azara. What are we doing? Let's see the Mishnah. Nechliku, they split up l'shtei kitois to two kitas, two groups. So they come out of this small door of the Beis HaMikdash and they split in half. Elu, these mahalchin, they go bi'achsadra, on the achsadra. Let's just leave it as that, an elevated platform, whatever that means, we'll get to eventually. Derech mizrach. One of them goes eastward. Ve'elu, and these, the other group, mahalchim, they go b'achsadra, derech ma'iriv. So one goes east and one goes west. So they leave the Beis HaMikdash. We'll see a picture in the back of the Gemara in a moment. We leave the Beis HaMikdash and they split in half. Hayabayitkim, they would check the holchim and they would go. So they're checking for something. We don't yet know what they're checking for, but they're checking for something and they go until shemagiyim, they would reach lemakaim, to the place of Isech Chavitim, until they reached the place that they did in the Chavitim. The Chavitim was a special carbon that the Kohen Gadol brought every single day. So they reached a specific area on the Beis HaMikdash that they prepared the Chavitim. Higiu, they reached Elu ve'elu, these and these. So again, just envision two groups. One goes right, one goes left. They go around the Beis HaMikdash. Eventually, they hit up each other. Amru, and they say, Shalom, peace. Hakol Shalom, everything is good. And then what do? Ha'emidu, they stand. Oisei Chavitim, the one that prepares this carbon called the Minchas Chavitim, La'asais Chavitim, to do the Chavitim. So, what were they checking for? What were they checking for? Anyone could think, what are they checking for? Anyone? What are they checking for? Anyone think about it? What are they kind of checking for? Again, it's early in the morning. They open up the little door. All the Kehanim leave the Beis HaMikdash, torches. They split up and they're walking around the perimeter of the Azara, Baitkin, checking for something until they meet up, and then they start the Minchas Chavitim. So what are they checking for? So Mishnah doesn't teach us. On the side over here, I'm actually trying to find which Mafarish says it explicitly. They explain that they're really checking the day is about to start. It's about to start. So they got to make sure everything's good. What do they have to make sure? Got to make sure there's no dead rodents on the floor. They got to make sure, nothing happened to the kelim. They just got to make sure, right? It's like, the final run through before the Avodah starts. So every single day they would go, they would make a perimeter sweep to make sure everything is beseder. The easiest way of understanding is they would make sure that everything was tahar. They would make sure that there was no tumah anywheres, and then they would leave and start doing the minchas chavitim. Continues the Mishnah, and now you're going to know, I think you asked what happened to the Trumas Hadeshin, right? So now says the Mishnah, Mi shezacha. What did we do so far? We just did the pious, the lottery. So we did the lottery.
Keep running.
We finished the lottery. Then everyone goes out and checks. And now, okay, everything's good. Final check, it's game time. So Mi shezacha, the one that was zayche, Litroy Mesa Mizbeach, to do the Trumas Hadeshin, one who won the lottery, who Yitroi, he would go and he would do the Truma. He would go and he would separate the ashes. They have the Himoimrim, and they would see them. So let's just envision that one kohen that won is about to go and do the first avodah, which is what? Separating some of the ash from the top of the Mizbeach. So they would tell him before he goes in, Havizah here, be careful. From what? What should I be careful from? Sheloi tiga bikli. do not touch any vessels. Ad, until Shetikadesh, you sanctify Yodecha Viraglecha, your hands and your feet, min ha kiyar. They would remind him, be wary, you're about to go into the Beis Hamikdash. Don't touch anything until Kiddush Yadayim Raglayim, you wash your hands and your feet from the kiyar. And then they would tell him a second thing. Vihare, and behold, Hamachta, the shovel, Hamachta is a shovel, Nisuna is placed, Bimiksoya, in the corner, Bein HaKevesh, between the ramp, La Mizbeach, and the Mizbeach. Excuse me, Bein HaKevesh La Mizbeach, where Bima'arav Shel Kevesh, on the western side. So they would tell him, number one, don't touch anything. Number two, you know where the shovel is? Now, why does he have to know where the shovel is? Because that's what he needs to go get to do with the Truma Sadesh. So they would tell him, go and get the shovel. You know where it is? It's in the corner between the ramp and the Mizbeach on the western side of the ramp. Says the Mishnah. Ein Adam Nichnas Imai. No one would go in with him. And he wasn't allowed to hold a fire. So it's early in the morning. It's still dark outside. He's going into the Beis Hamikdash all alone. How does he see? Elamahalech, he would go le'ar hamaracha, to the light of the maracha. The maracha is the pyre, the pyre is the fire on top of the mizbeach. That little fire that's burning up there, that would illuminate a little bit. That's what he would be able to see. And says the Mishnah, it was pretty dark. They wouldn't see him. And they would not hear his voice. Ad, until. So again, just remember, everyone is either in the Beis HaMikdash or they're over there by the Minchas Chavitim, which is a little bit of you're asking really a kasha. Because they all went around, they told the guy to Minchas Chavitim, where do they all go now? So the Pashim shot is they all went back to the Beis HaMikdash. That's Pashim shot. They didn't see him, they didn't hear him. So what do they hear? With this, we're going to conclude. Ad sha'ayu shaymin, until they would hear kol ha'etz, the sound of the wood. What wood? She'asa ben Katin, that was made by someone by the name of Ben Katin. What did he make? Muchni, a pulley system, a contraction, l'kiyar, for the kiyar. The kiyar was the wash basin, where to get its water from underground. How to get lowered and raised up? By a wooden pulley system. As it was raised, the churning of the wood, that is what they heard. Okay, let's just get a bookkeeping. Over Shabbos, we have a lot to do. We have 1, 2, 3 full blot 2 time. We're going to be finishing next week and then doing a real chazara. And
Then for bringing it.
yeah, but we have to know it for real.
Oh, should we do maybe our
First of this.
comes back?
Oh yeah, for sure we can do that also. Yes, we're gonna have a full chazara, but in anticipation of that, let's get the full 3 blot over Shabbos 2 times to set ourselves up for success.